today we're going to be talking a little bit about a couple of different things. The first one is where you should buy your essential oils. And this is really an important topic because where you purchase your essential oils is going to determine whether or not you're getting safe oils or dangerous oils. Oils that work or oils that don't work, okay, at the very least. We're going to discuss that, and then I have something to show you. I'm very excited about it. And then I have some great news for something that's coming up that you're going to want to know about. So be sure to stay on, and I'm going to try to make this first part really succinct and quick. And I'm just going to explain to you what happened with me the other day. So I went to an online shop that I just love, and I was going to buy some products. And this shop is not an aromatherapy shop. It's not an essential oil shop or anything like that. And lo and behold, they had essential oils on the shop to sell. And I was like, oh no. And I was looking at the essential oil choices, and one of them, they were really cheap, number one, inexpensive. But one of the essential oils was pure essential oil. It said 1 whole ounce of vanilla essential oil. An ounce is a lot. An ounce is 2 of these put together. This is 15 milliliters. An ounce is 30 milliliters. And I was absolutely just floored, okay, by that price, because I have 2 15 milliliter vanilla essential oils. One's an oleo resin and one's an absolute, and both of them were around $200 each. That's how expensive vanilla is, because it's very hard to gather the essential oil from it. And I just wanted to just share with you where you should buy your essential oils, because I'm so disturbed by this. And I'm going to explain a few reasons why. So first off, one of the problems with buying super cheap essential oils is that they're most likely adulterated. The chances of them being having elements put in them like chemicals or toxins is very high. Different fragrances, synthetic lab-created chemicals for scent. It happens all the time. And the other thing is that this is just what disturbs me, the people who buy these essential oils thinking that they're getting essential oils and they're getting something else. They're putting it all over their bodies, they're putting it on their kids' bodies, and basically we know that what we put on our skin soaks in, right? That stuff's going into your body, whatever is in there, and it's a mystery because the FDA does not regulate essential oils, just as they don't regulate herbs. So I want to just tell you some things about where you should be buying your essential oils. And I actually just wrote a newsletter about this today too that was quite lengthy. I normally don't write on Fridays, but I was so upset by this that I had to, because that vanilla essential oil for a whole ounce was selling for only $20, and I'm like, no. And people are putting it on their skin and they're using it, and it's not good. So anyway, here are some signs to tell you to look for in a good essential oil company. Number one, they're transparent about where they're getting their essential oils. They're transparent about their sourcing, and they're choosing good companies. A good company should have decades, actually, of a track history of interacting with the small farmers and distillers who they work with. It takes a long time to build these relationships. And if somebody can't even tell you what country their essential oil is from, that's a problem, you guys. And if they can't identify the actual farm that the essential oil batch came from, that's a problem, the big problem, okay? So number one, they need to know and be transparent about where they're getting their essential oils. Related to that, I just want to say this is part of the problem with not knowing where you're getting your essential oils. There are massively huge bulk essential oil companies, and what they do is they gather inferior, this is what I'm going to show you in a minute, but they go all around the world and they gather up inferior essential oils that really can't be sold very well anywhere else. They dump them all into a big container all together, mix them all up, and then they go and they resell them to whoever, all right? And many of these companies will actually sell to small businesses and offer to relabel the essential oils under that business's brand name and then they can sell it. And then some of these businesses even go so far as to say, hey, you know what? If you can't sell the essential oil, we'll buy them back from you. Yikes. What does that tell you? It's really awful. If you go down to your Joe Blow store on the street, or if you go to your online whatever shop, candle shop or tea shop or whatever, and there's essential oils on there and they're branded under their own name, please run. I'm just saying, unless you're making soap or candles, in that case it's probably all right, but you don't want to be using them therapeutically. Absolutely not. Number 2, we just mentioned this, that they should have a long history of relationship with the people. This is the good company, from the people that they buy essential oils from. Number 3, if a company is selling something else besides aromatherapy, then I wouldn't buy from them. Okay, and this is where it's a good idea to stay in your own lane. Aromatherapy companies that are good are going to be owned and operated by certified aromatherapists who know what they're doing, and they're going to know what to look for. If you're buying from, there's a guy here in our town actually who sells essential oils. He's not an aromatherapist at all. He sells all kinds of things. And I just want to say, he doesn't know what he doesn't know, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. So if an aromatherapy business is not exclusive to aromatherapy, maybe dabbling in herbs a little bit perhaps, but aromatherapy. If they're more than that, if they're a home goods store, if they're a candle shop, if they're an anything else shop, please beware. Okay, so next up, number 4, they have education on their site about the essential oils. They can explain things to you about the essential oils. They can tell you why something is safe or not. They know what can be used at higher dilution rates versus lower dilution rates. They can tell you all of these things. They can tell you what's safe for kids and what's not. Not all essential oils are safe for kids. By the way, you need to pick up my new free guide on 25 essential oils that are safe for kids. And you can get that in the link below. I'll just drop it below in that first pinned comment and also in the description. It's a really good guide to have, especially if you've got kiddos or grandkids. Next up, this is number 5. They should be able to tell you, and I referenced this a minute ago, but they should be able to tell you where that essential oil was grown and distilled in the world. So you'll usually see this on labels, unless the label is jam-packed with things. If you don't see it on the label, go to the website, and it should say on the website, it'll have the little essential oil there, and it'll have all of this information about the oil, and the country of origin should be on there. If it's not, don't buy it. That's a big clue that what you're getting is one of those big mass-produced vats of whatever lavender essential oil from all over the world, and it's inferior, probably adulterated. Here's the next one. The Latin name is included on the label, and that's, most people are wising up because that's a pretty common thing now, but you should be able to know what the Latin name of the plant is. Some people are allergic to different things, and the Latin name tells you exactly what it is. Next up, and this is also becoming not as big a deal these days, I think, is the GCMS report, which is it's a report on the chemistry of the essential oil batch. So it's batch specific is what it is. And basically it tells you the percentages of the different chemicals in the product. Unfortunately, many of these chemicals now are being made in labs. They're synthetically created in labs. Linalool is an example of this. It's one of the primary chemicals in lavender and clary sage and a number of other wonderful calming plants and essential oils, but it can be made in a laboratory. So what these companies will do with inferior products is they will go ahead and add extra linalool if there's not quite enough, or they just want to increase hopeful ability to work, which that doesn't really help. And it's not natural. Do you want to have pure linalool from a pure real plant, or do you want to have it from a lab? It's like your meat. You want lab-created meat? You want chicken grown in a petri dish? Or do you want real good chicken that's been raised on pasture? Totally up to you. I prefer the good stuff. Next up, number 9 is pricing. You guys, seriously, if the price is super cheap, That's a big clue that it's not going to be of high quality. And these companies that are marketing based on price, mine's the cheapest. Why buy this frankincense that's $75 when you can get ours for 20? You know what I mean? It's crazy. Certain plants are not readily available. Vanilla happens to be one of those. There are seasons for vanilla and it doesn't have a lot of essential oil. There you go. You shouldn't be able to buy an ounce of essential oil for $20. It's impossible. It's impossible. Other plants, sandalwood. If you come across sandalwood, that's very inexpensive, run for the hills. Sandalwood is precious. And these people who distill sandalwood actually have to kill the trees in order to get to the heartwood of the plant. So you can imagine that it's labor intensive, time intensive, plant intensive, and there's a sustainability issue. If you're finding sandalwood essential oil for $5 to $10 to $20, it should be costing a lot more than that. And I'm going to say about probably $70 and up. So that's just the way it is. So if price is an issue for you, if you can't spend $100 on a bottle of more precious essential oil, stick with the basic ones. Stick with the sustainable essential oils and buy them from a quality company. It's simple. Buy your peppermint, your lemon. I did a video not too long ago. I will link to it above where I talked about the primary best essential oils you should have in your house. And these are all inexpensive, sustainable plants that you can use and access. And buy them from good companies. Don't buy them from your local body butter shop. Don't buy them from that online home goods store. I'm just saying. And I also want to say this too. There's a lot of people out there in the world who are, and I love this because they're putting forth natural living and all of that good stuff, homesteading, things like this. And they are teaching people how to make salves and soaps and all kind of other wonderful natural products, which I think is great. But they're throwing in the essential oils and they're not aromatherapists. They don't know what they don't know. And I'm going to speak from experience to that because when I first started down this road, making my own products and selling them, it's been over 10 years now ago, I still didn't know all the things about essential oils. I only started studying essential oils about 5 or 6 years ago. And prior to that, I thought I just knew it. Essential oils are natural, right? They're not going to hurt anybody. Luckily, I was very conservative with my essential oil use, but not everybody is. And not everybody knows what's safe for some people and not for others. So I always say, if you're going to work with essential oils, please work with an aromatherapist. There's a lot of us out there now. Pick one you like and work with one of us. I always get asked this question, where do I buy my essential oils? So I personally, for therapeutic use, I like Aromatics International. They're one of my favorite companies. They know the farmers. They've been all over the world, and they have high integrity. A lot of education, and I actually know the owners. Really great people. Amrita Aromatherapy is another one. Florihana, Pompey Street Organics is another one. Perfect Potion. That company happens to be owned by Salvatore Battaglia, a very famous aromatherapist internationally, and I love his products. Plant Therapy and Rocky Mountain Oils are two that you've probably heard of and are familiar with. I think they're fine too. Star West Botanicals, I do buy their oils for making soap. And I like it that they're great for wash-off products. I wouldn't use them therapeutically though. And then I always get asked about the MLM companies, multi-level marketing. And honestly, I think they have great products. Young Living, doTERRA, I think their products are wonderful. I know for a fact that Young Living has a lot of their own farms. So they obviously are very familiar with the plants and how they're grown and all of that. So anyway, I just wanted to share all that with you today. If you're going to bother buying essential oils, you guys, buy good ones. Buy from reputable places. Please don't. Here's one more thing I want to point out, and then I'm going to share some things with you here. But consider magnesium oil for a moment. Most of us now know that we're deficient in magnesium, and many of us have been turning to topical magnesium products like magnesium lotion, magnesium sprays, which you can make on my website. Actually, I don't know if we can link to a website or not. I can put the link in the description. I actually have a recipe for how to make your own magnesium oil very easily. But you guys, you spray that on your skin, and what does it do? It goes to work, and many people are calmed and soothed and get better sleep and have better body functions. It's because the magnesium molecules soak into the skin. Everything you put on your skin soaks in. If you can't eat it, don't put it on your skin. And if you're buying inferior quality essential oils, you have no idea where they're coming from or what's in them. I would never put something like that on my own skin, my grandbaby's skin, or my pets. So I'm just throwing that out there. All right, now I want to go ahead and share with you some things that are coming up. So first off, I have a tea course coming out soon. It's a revamp of my original tea course that I wrote in 2017, The Art and Pleasure of Herbal Teas. This one's going to be a much bigger course. We're going to cover everything to know about herbal teas. And so look for I'm going to do a challenge that's free. It's really fun. We're going to be putting that out in a couple of weeks, so stay tuned. This is the book that comes with it. This is the text. And it's about 200-ish, or probably over 200, probably about 220-ish pages at this point. But it's filled with most of my tea recipes from all of the years and broken down into categories. Plus, the course itself is going to give you a nice overview of herbalism in general and herbal tea specifically. All right, next up, I just have to show you this. Somebody asked me if I was an author one time, and I said, no, I'm not an author. I've never published a book with a real publishing company, primarily because I do not have time. It takes a lot of time. Let me get these papers out of here. And you are at the mercy of the publishing company, and I literally just don't have time. But I do write, and we ordered these physical copies of my books so that we could share with our students. But the students in the Confident Herbalist Tribe and Ditch the Drugstore and the Family Herbalist Certification Program have access to some or all of these books, depending on which program they're in. Ooh, there's a lot in here. There's more. And I estimated one time about how many pages I've written over the years, and it's at least about 4,000. It's probably more than that. That's a conservative estimate. And then here's another box full here. Sorry, I should have opened this and taken all this out, but unboxings are fun, aren't they? Woo, more books. Just so you can see this stack, I'm going to come around and scoot the camera back so you can see this, but here's some more little ones. On top. There you go. I love to write, I love to research, and I have actually hired writers and researchers at this point to help, but these are our books. And for the School of Botanical Arts and Sciences, these are the textbooks that people use to learn about plants. And what usually happens is people will start off with a fun tea course, which is the new one's coming out soon, and they realize, I need to learn about the plants because I need to know what to make the teas with. I need to know how to blend them. I need to know how to formulate them. And that's where our plant studies come in. So many of these are plant studies. Some of them are texts on making different products like salves and oils and balms. There's just a ton here. We've got essential oil guides as well. We've got volumes and volumes of books. I just wanted to share that with you, just so you know that everything I do is researched and it's also experiential, which I find that the experience is hugely important, and then the references to science is too. But you've got to just dig in and start learning the plant medicine. And I really hope you guys will. And if not with me, then somebody else, because right now we're at a pivoting point in time where it's going to be necessary for us to learn from legitimate sources as quickly as possible. In my newsletter that's coming out on Sunday, I actually wrote about some information I got off of Google that was generated by artificial intelligence on lavender, and it's a little frightening. So if you're not on my email list, my newsletter list, please join it. I give out tips 2 or 3 times a week, and you get recipes, you get stuff you can't find anywhere else. My website, healingharvesthomestead.com, is very valuable, and of course the YouTube channel. Enjoy, you guys. I hope this information was helpful. Please choose good places to buy your essential oils. Be looking for the challenge that's coming up for this herbal tea course. It's free. The challenge will be, the tea course is not free, but the challenge will be. All right, I'll see you in the next video, and thanks a lot, you guys, for being here. Bye-bye.